I think the grace of Heavenly Mother, compassion of Maitreya Buddha, Qigong Buddha, virtue of Patriarch, Sijun Simu, and also Grandmaster and Senior Master and Junior Master who allow me to have this opportunity to host this session. And today we are going to continue our legend of Guanyin Bodhisattva. The legend of Guanyin Bodhisattva has total 33 legends. So today we will cover the scripture Holding Guanyin. In Chinese, we call it 持經觀音. We will watch the video and then we will talk about the scripture of Holding Guanyin, what's the meaning and what's the significance of the story and all the legend.
唐朝年间，临安有个叫钱廖的读书人，自幼人人皆称赞神童，16岁就中了秀。
Can you hear me? Why on the video is
钱廖，你真厉害！哼，区区秀才，即便是状元，
Yes.
随手可得。
So in the Tang Dynasty, there was this gentleman named
是
Chen
啊
Liao.
真是文曲星下凡呐！
He is like
儿童且看，
very
待我
arrogant.
金榜题名，
Because
一
he
剑
always
还乡。
were
若
high
考不中，绝不回乡。
in his young age. So he talked to his
光阴似箭，
classmates that
钱
this
廖
time
勤
I'm
奋
going to
苦
be
读，
the top one.
2次复考，2次都名落孙山。
However,
他心
when
灰
he
意
had to
冷
the，national
便想一
exam,
死了之。
failed one time and the second time.
观音
And
菩
he
萨
became
见
very
此情形，
disappointed.
化身为一位带着2个孩童的讨饭女子。
先生，我饿，行行好，给点东西吃吧。
我什么都没有。
So because he failed his exam and he was so frustrated, disappointed, depressed, and wanting to commit suicide. And Guanyin saw him, and she transformed herself to a mother with 2 children.
身为一位带着2个孩童的讨饭女子。
And these three, they pretend they are beggars.
先生，我饿，
Mister, I'm hungry. Can you give me something to eat?
我什么都没有。
He say, I have nothing.
先生，
Mister, our
您
kid
看
is
孩
so
子们那
cold.
么冷，能不能把您的
Can
衣
you
服
give us
脱
your
下来
clothes?
给他们穿？
天下居然有如此贪婪的母子，
And he said, how come they are so greedy?
难道让我光着
And even though I want to commit suicide, they want me to commit suicide with my naked body. That's what he said.
身子去跳呀？
先生，
How cruel.
您都要死了，要这些有何用？
And she said, you are about to die. Why do you care about all your clothes?
可怜可怜我的孩子，
Please be
记
pity
得
on my
大伯
child.
吧。
你怎知我要去死？
He said, how do you know I'm going to
你
die?
是个落榜的书生，想去寻死吧？
I see that you are, you have failed on your exam, and I see that you want to commit
你
suicide.
看，我连
You
鞋
see, I
都
don't
没
even
有，
have shoes.
你命都不要了，
You don't even
还
want
在
your
乎那
life.
双
Why do
鞋
you care
吗？
about your shoes?
连讨饭的妇人都看出了我的
Even this lady see that I'm such a loser.
落魄，真的没法活了。
I cannot live anymore.
你们
Okay,
拿去吧。
here you go.
于是钱廖把钱财衣物
He gave
全部
away
给了他
all
们，
his clothing,
转
all
身
his
向
belongings,
山上走
except
去。
his underwear.
先生，
Mister,
回头是岸
just
啦
turn back. Turn back.
钱
You
廖
will,
站在崖边，天降大雪，
you will be
风雪中
okay.
又传来那
But
女子的
before
声音。
he jumped the cliff, he heard her voice. Turn back.
钱廖
When
紧
you
闭
turn
双
back, you
眼
will see the，shore.
纵身跳下山崖
So。he closed his eyes. He jumped.
在睁眼时，眼前
After he
是
opened
一
his
尊
eyes,
手持
what
经
he
卷的
saw
观
was
世音菩萨像。
what he saw was there was a prayer hall with Guanyin in the middle, and then he saw that 3 persons, the mother and 2 child, the beggar.
还有一名女子在添柴火。
And
钱
she's
廖回忆
making
起来，
cooking
我记得
something.
我跳崖了。
Oh, he said, "Oh, I remember. I jumped the cliff. Where
这
am
里
I?"
是人间的持经观音寺庙。
And she said, "This is the Guanyin Temple.
你是个读书人吧？
You are a scholar.
惭愧，
I'm so
没有
embarrassed."
读好书。
那你是没有用心。
She said, "I'm so embarrassed. I did not focus, and that's why I fail." And she said, "That's because you did not use your heart to study."
心去读书。
非也非也，我悬梁刺股，
He
日
said,
日
"No,
苦
no.
读，
Every
可
day
就
I
是
study
屡考
very
不中
hard.
啊。
I
既
try
是
many
个读书
times,
人，
but I just failed my exam."
为
And
何
she
不
said,
拜拜持经？
"Since you are a scholar, why don't you pray to Guanyin, ask her mercy?"
观世音菩萨。
钱了猛然醒悟，随即
钱了
伏地虔
finally
诚的跪
awakened
拜。
and he kneeled
请
down
大
and
慈大悲
started to
观世音
cry.
菩萨
Pray.
慈悲护佑。
顷刻间
Protect me.
佛光万丈，
Help me.
女子显化观音菩萨真身。
你
And then that beggar woman transformed herself into Guanyin. And this is her speaking to him.
心向读书，却求名利。
You always focus on your study, but your heart is focused on the wrong place. You focus on the money, the material, and the fame,
福
and the
禄
wealth.
不是劳作，不
You don't do
懂
any
迷
labor. You
苦
don't understand
更
people's
不知世
suffering.
间烦恼
You don't
与社
understand
稷轮
the
转，
society have so much
却
problems, so
如
much
何
issues.
答
How
对
can
考
you
题？
answer the question
今
correctly?
日雪中
Today, I
夺
met
缘，
you in the snow,
念你赠衣物之时
and I appreciate that you give me the clothing and the shoes to the
暂
kids.
行。吾赠你以继
I'm going to
子，
give you a
当
poem as a
作
gift.
还礼吧。
观音菩萨话音未落，却不知所措。
So when she finished deliver her message, she disappeared, and there comes
堂
a
内
piece of
只
paper
剩书生
from
与
the
火堆，
from the
堂上
room.
飘下一张纸片。
我若向地狱，地狱自枯竭；我若向佛陀，造心自调伏。
I
我
will talk
若
about
向
this
山林，自
later.
得大智慧。
when
纸
it's
片
meaning.
落
And then
入
this
柴火
paper
中，
later
化为一
burned
团火焰。
to ashes.
钱了一惊，抬头仰望，
But he just read it one time, he remembered.
持经观世音菩萨宝像正对着自己。
And then after
钱
he
了
reads
赶
to
紧
look at
叩拜
Guanyin,。he started
感
to
谢
pray.
持经观音点化，我一定好好理解偈子，
I'm going to
好好读书
understand the poem
行
and
善
I'm
积
going
德
to，
利益
focus
百
on my
姓。
study.
请
I'm
菩萨
going
保
to
佑
start to
我学有所
accumulate
成。
merit.
不知不觉
Doing good deeds
又逢大考，
And then she
钱了
studied very
向着
hard.
持经观音的教诲
And
挥
this
毫大拳
time,，
思如泉
he
涌
had，so much
终于拔得
so much idea. In the old time, when they enter the national exam, the what is that? The examiner will give you a topic, and then you have to write an essay. That was their exam in back then. There's no multiple choice. There's no yes and no. You have to write an essay. So when he was writing the essay, he has so much idea coming up, and
头名
finally
状元。
he passed, and he
钱了
passed.
高中状元后，
He
衣
scored a
锦
number
还乡
1,。And
他
he
不
became
忘
a
持
scholar.
经观音的点化恩泽，在山上建了一座
And then when he in the past when they do this kind of essay, there's they give a different score. Well, they have a rank number 1, rank number 2, rank number 3. So rank number 1, that's what he got. He will have he can get in the highest position in the imperial palace, and then he get the highest pay too. So that's how honor he feel right now, and that's how honor he
座
becomes.
寺庙，
So
供奉
after
持
he
经观音，
achieved his
把他与
and
持经
wealth,
观音的
he
佛缘
built
故事
he used his
刻在
money
碑
to
上
build Guanyin，
让世
temple
人供
that
奉
allow
诵读，
people to
让莘
pray
莘
to
学子
Guanyin.
求得持经观音的护佑，发奋苦读，学业有成。
And because of this
利益百姓。
story, the story was widespread, and many scholars before the exam they come here to pray to Guanyin.
行善积德。这次，观世音菩萨的显化，
And all scholar they understand that when they go into the exam, they have to prepare themselves. They have to understand um, in the society, there's a lot of issues. And how can, if you are an official, if you are the governor, if you are the city council, how can you understand people? And by doing so, and later on when you pass the exam, when you become a governor, then that's where you will have the authority to take care of the people. And this is what Guanyin wants.
就是持经
So
观音。
this story is the scripture holding Guanyin. As you can see, he's holding the scripture on his hand. I'm sorry, she's holding the scripture on her hand. So that's the story for Guanyin. So let's look at what kind of message did Guanyin told him while he was just awakened from his suicidal incident. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read this 3 lines?
If I thought of hell negativity, its flames go dry. If I thought of Buddha, my monkey mind will surrender. If I thought of sentient beings, great wisdom will outpour.
Yeah. So thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. I think when I look at this one, the most difficult one for me to understand is the first one. In Chinese, it says, 我若向地狱，地狱自枯竭；我若向佛陀，造心自调伏；我若向生灵，自得大智慧. So on the first line of English, it says, if I thought of hell, hell means negativity, its flames go dry. So imagine this is, so this poem is delivered from Guanyin. So Guanyin represents brightness, good energy, right? So much illumination, so much wisdom. She represents her holiness. So when she thought about hell, now hell is full of negative energy. So when you have this bright energy come into hell, what happened to hell? Hell has so much anger, frustration, so many things. So when bright energy comes, the energy in hell will diminish. It will, in other words, the bright energy will overcome the negative energy. That's why it says its flame will dry. In hell, there's fire, right? There is, there are people being grilled, being tortured, fire. So much thing. So when Guanyin, if Guanyin goes to hell, to see Guanyin, just like if Buddha, just like Siddhartha, he's teaching in the hell realm. So when he teach, people actually like to listen to him, because that's when they listen to him, the spirit in hell like to listen to him, because they will receive that moment of relief when they listen to the Buddha's teaching. Once the teaching is done, they have to go back to whatever they were doing. And whatever they were doing is continue suffering. So imagine in hell realm, there's so much activity, so much suffering. So when Guanyin comes, when her thought comes, everything will be diminished, just like its flames will dry. So if Guanyin go down to the realm of suffering to help others, Guanyin's compassion is so immersed, it will extinguish the fire of hell and liberate the being trapped there. So this is what it means on the first line. It does took me a while to understand. So of course, on the second line, if I thought of Buddha, my monkey mind will surrender. The third line, if I thought of sentient being, great wisdom will outpour. So this is the paper that was burned. Now, Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the first one?
The trap of early success. Tian Liao was praised from youth and grew arrogant, viewing the highest academic honors a simple matter within his reach. This unchecked ego ultimately led to psychological collapse where reality failed to meet his expectations.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So we can imagine like celebrity. There are some young celebrity, they become very popular in their young age, and they got trapped in their early success, and usually after they grow up, they cannot handle their life anymore. So this is called the trap of early success. And Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about the fires of hell.
Yes.
I mean, that's the common idea. But I think of hell also as frozen, cold. I don't know what people think of that too. But commonly it's thought of fire. But to me, also hell can be described as frozen, ice.
Correct. Yeah, because in hell there's different ways of suffering. Peter, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Oh, Giacomo, that was okay. In Dante's description, yes. Okay.
Yes. In hell, there's a different different way of suffering. There's suffering from fire, suffering from drowning, suffering from freezing cold, suffering from heat, suffering from mosquito bite, suffering from noise, suffering from punching wound. So there's different suffering. So here, of course, you are right. There's not just one way of suffering, but based on um, the poem that Guanyin delivered here, she used the example of flames, fire.
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on. Okay, so yeah, we can imagine that if we have a early success in our life, it will have a determinant effect in the later life. And as we can see on news, yeah, and so that's very easy to understand. And Giacomo Tienshin, can you read the second and the third one?
In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu reminds us that pride brings loss, humility brings gain. True spiritual alignment requires us to release our attachments from fame and titles. When we hollow out our ego, we create the necessary space to receive true wisdom and cosmic guidance.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So in Tao Te Ching, in many chapters, Lao Tzu wants us to not attach to just to get rid of recognition, get rid of accreditation, not attached to fame, not attached to pride. Yeah, because the more of that we have, the more ego we will have. And the last one just talk about if we hold out our ego. Just imagine if we have a cup of water, if our water is full of ego, what else can we pour in? Nothing, right? So we do need to pour out a little bit that enable other things to come in. And other things meaning maybe other people's perspective, other people's idea. We leave room for others so that we can accept others, we can embrace others. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the next learning we can get from this story is shifting from self-interest to the greater good. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the first one?
Selfish intentions versus true mastery. Guanyin pointed out that while Tian Liao studied rigorously, his art was focused entirely on personal fame, status, and material rewards, rather than understanding the suffering of ordinary people or contributing meaningfully to society.
Yes, yeah. So this is what happened to Chen Liao. In the beginning, I mean, his life is like having two phrases. In the first phrase, is that he focused so much on his personal fame, and he was very arrogant with his classmates, and that's the reason he failed. And remember, I say that in the national exam, you need to write an essay. So if that's what you have in mind, you cannot write it. You cannot cheat at all because there's no multiple choice. So what you write is a reflection of yourself. And later on, he was able to master his true self. That, in other words, he was able to align himself with Tao. And that's how he was able to change his life. And of course, later on, he was able to write a wonderful essay, and he passed the exam, and he was ranking number 1. Giacomo Tienshin, can you help us to read the second one?
The Tao perspective. True cultivation is not performed for selfish gains. It is about aligning with the Tao through selfless contribution. The Tao works silently to support all things without demanding recognition.
Yeah, thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So here I would say the key word here is selfish gain. Isn't this human nature? And since we understand this as human nature, and how can we liberate ourselves from there? It's very difficult. So the second sentence say that it's about aligning our Tao through selfless contribution. So in our temple, we do have a lot of opportunity for you to do selfless contribution. Like coming to the temple, it's a selfless contribution. You contribute your time, you contribute your gas to coming over here. Nowadays, gas is so expensive.
The cliff is a turning point. It was at the absolute lowest point of his life, standing off the edge of a cliff in a blinding blizzard, that Xian Lao surrendered his earthly possession and pride. This moment of profound vulnerability allowed him to finally wake up to a higher truth. Guanyin's message, "Turn around and you are back at the shore," is a classic spiritual metaphor. No matter how deep we sink into worldly confusion, distress, or desperation, a single pivot of the heart toward inner truth immediately reconnects us to our pure original nature.
Thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So as we look at this slide, I see that maybe a lot of you are thinking about we have been through a lot of turning points. So just like Guanyin said, turn around and you are back to the shore. Just need to turn around. And we will be back to the center. Let's go to the next one. Giacomo Tienshin, can you read this 3?
After receiving Guanyin's teaching, Xian Liao returned to his studies with a transformed mind, eventually achieving his goals. He dedicated his later success to honoring the Bodhisattva and serving the public, building a temple so that others could study the scriptures with a pure heart. True knowledge must manifest as virtual action. When our inner spiritual study is paired with outward deeds of kindness and service, we achieve cosmic balance and harmony with the universe.
Yeah, thank you, Giacomo Tienshin. So the spiritual practice, Tao practice, it has 2 parts. One is the inner practice. The other one is the outward deed. So inner practice is something that we want to check our temperature, how is our temperament, are we still angry? And the outward deed is like, I'm going to accept you, I'm going to tolerate, I'm going to just let go of you. You forgive that person. That's our outward.